This is Tank's Vlog for September 28th, 2017, wrapping up the day in sports. We'll get to football in a moment, but with baseball wrapping up its final weekend, we have to take a look. The Yankees let a chance to gain another game on the Red Sox slip away. And now they trail by 3 games with 3 games left. It's basically wild card round for the Yankees. They were going to have a chance. They had to win the rest of their games. And now that's not going to happen after a loss today. Now, that means everything in the American League is settled except for who will be the top seed. And the Astros and Indians are neck and neck. Today, the Indians reached the century mark with a win over the Minnesota Twins. Great performance by Carlos Carrasco. And the Astros, with a win over the Red Sox, kept pace. Now, what's going to be interesting is, if the Astros finish second, they're going to play basically, potentially, 8 straight games against the Red Sox. Because they'll go right into the division series, and that will be the division series matchup. Astros against the Red Sox. So those two teams might get very familiar with each other over the next 2 weeks. Cleveland Indians have a 1-game lead over the Astros, who have 99 wins in the battle for home field advantage. National League, everything's decided in terms of home field there, with the Dodgers having the top seed, and the Nationals, they'll have the Game 1 against the Chicago Cubs in Washington next week in the division series. Say the Cubs reach 90 wins and ended the playoff hopes of the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, the only thing that's got to be decided in the National League is the second wild card spot. And the Rockies were off tonight. And the Brewers won. They beat the Reds. So they trail by 2 games. So basically, the Brewers got to win every game. And hope the Rockies drop 2 games over the weekend for a tie. So, it's not very good chance for the Brewers, but they're still definitely in it. But the Rockies have the big edge. Now, today at Barstool Sports, we did a look back to 60 years ago to the opening of a new stadium in Green Bay. At the time, it was called City Stadium. Vice President Richard Nixon was on hand, and the commissioner was on hand, and they had to build a new stadium. Otherwise, the Packers would have been forced to head off to Milwaukee. But by building a new stadium, they kept that tradition in Green Bay alive. And over the years, City Stadium has been expanded several times, worked on, and is still in use. In 1964, City Stadium became known as Lambeau Field, and it was 60 years ago on Friday that the Bears and Packers played the first game there, with Green Bay getting an upset win 21-17. On Thursday night, the two teams renewed their rivalry. And what's going on now is that the Bears are definitely down. You know, Mike Glennon had a terrible game again today. He's become a human Pez dispenser, handing out the ball like it's candy on Halloween. I mean, he had 4 turnovers again. It's just, but the thing is, we'll be putting Mitch Trubisky in. Would that be fair? Because right now the Bears don't have much. They don't have a whole lot of talent on this team. They are easily one of the 5 worst teams in the NFL. I mean, it was a shock that they beat the Steelers on Sunday. I guess sometimes a blind squirrel does find an acorn. But I do know this. Most weekends, they hear their opponents going, 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Bears, Bears, Bears. Because it's always good news to play the Bears if you're an NFL team these days. Good game by Aaron Rodgers. Just did enough. Not flashy. Only 179 yards passing, but 4 touchdowns. 2 to Jordy Nelson. The moment that will, though, be most talked about is the hit Danny Trevathan bailed on Davante Adams. How Trevathan was not ejected from the game is beyond me. I think the NFL should take the NCAA targeting rule, where they could go up and look at the play again, and it won't be a challenge. It shouldn't be a challenge. It should be something that gets buzzed down from someone to look at that play to see if the hit was dangerously put a player at risk, and Trevathan clearly did. Now, he was apologetic after the game, but there's definitely a fine coming his way, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Trevathan receive at least a game suspension. This was one of the worst hits I've seen. Fortunately, Davante Adams woke up. He's in the hospital, and he's got movement over his whole body. But that was a hit that even in the old days, well, not the too old days, but even in the 80s, would have drawn a flag. Driving your helmet right into someone's face mask, even in the days when we glorified big hits, that wasn't allowed. So keep an eye on that. Today's 3 stars are Carlos Carrasco, who delivered a dominating performance for the Indians today over the Twins. A rarity for our 2nd star, Carlos Correa. He went 4 for 4 with a home run, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. And it's the 2nd night in a row he's been our 2nd star. And Jordy Nelson is our 3rd star. 75 yards, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns. We did our update on the Indianapolis Colts. So take a look at the Indianapolis Colts history and picture gallery. Big loss for them last year was Barstool's gain with Pat McAfee. He was a hell of a punter in Indianapolis, and now he's a hell of a blogger. So check out the Colts. And our birthday shout-out is the NBA Finals MVP Kevin Durant, who turns 29. So check it all out at Sports Encyclopedia, where sports history lives. Tomorrow's going to be another Football Friday, and we'll be releasing on the vlog our 6-pack college picks. So take a look at that, and have a good day.